Hi folks, Travis Fox here with foxoptic.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Pulsar Thermion 2 XL50. This is going to be Pulsar's first high-definition sensor offering in a thermal scope. It's running a 1024-768 sensor. I'm going to be showing you some footage against N-Vision's Halo XRF. I was able to borrow one of those from a buddy. That's the US made, runs the 12 micron 640-480 BAE processor. You know, they're touting 400-yard shot distances with that, easily able to acquire those type of distances out of the new Pulsar. I am running the Bobro Return Zero QD mount. They're running the American Defense mount on there. I've been having exceptionally good luck. We're going to be kitting ours with that Bobro mount. So let's take a look at some comparison footage. I'll be right back with you. Okay folks, so I've got the Pulsar, the new Pulsar Thermion XL50 LRF sitting here, and I've got the Halo XRF, and I've got them both trained back there on my 100-yard resolution target. Basically, that's just going to let us see the resolution that the units are capable of at distance. I've got one at 100 and one at 200 both. They're just matte black targets with foil on them, and I'm just, you know, trying to show you the squareness of the lettering and the features inside of the numbers, you know, so that you can tell what type of resolution to expect. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got the Pulsar set in semi-automatic. I'm going to go ahead and do a short press of the power button to calibrate it. So it's now calibrated. Over here on the Halo, I'm going to close the lens cap, and we're going to turn around and we're going to do a long press of the calibration button, and it's going to calibrate, and now it's calibrated. It is a fixed calibration on the Halo, so we're going to pop that lens cap back open, and now there we are on that target. You can see that there is quite a bit of difference in terms of field of view between these two units. If I was to come over here like at the maximal field of view and put the left edge of the Thermion XL on that 100-yard target, you can see how far to the right you can see, versus if I do the same thing in the Halo. You know, obviously a big difference there. You know, they're running different sensors in these units, and that's what's kind of setting that focal length. So we have a much bigger 1024-768 sensor in the Pulsar versus the 640-480 BAE sensor in the N-Vision unit. So, you know, they're running more magnification and narrowing the field of view to try to attain the same resolutional clarity. And if you do the math, according to their magnification numbers, they should be about 1-to-1. So I'm expecting resolutions to look similar, but I think what you're going to see is that just won't be the truth. So in other words, and if you want to know, like right now, verbatimly, I'll just tell you why I think that is I think that the focus mechanism, while on one hand on the Pulsar a bit more complex because you have to focus it, versus the N-Vision being totally focus free, I think that does, I mean, it's what's giving you the better image. You just have better image control in the Pulsar. You know, because if you do the thermistor per unit area counts, they should be about the same. Like this should be just almost exactly the same. If you look at degrees field of view in the horizontal vertical planes and what that equates to in terms of square inches, and then you divide that by the thermistor per unit area counts, should be almost on top of one another. But I think that we're going to find that the clarity is unquestionably better in the Pulsar. So one other thing I get a lot of times, I get guys tell me, oh, the N-Visions, you know, while they're manual nuke, you don't have to nuke them very often, and so that's why I put the Pulsar in SA. I'm going to let it just kind of sit here and eat, and we'll see if it actually does, you know, how it performs comparatively. So I'm not going to nuke them again until we're done here. So let's go ahead and zoom the XRF up, and we'll go ahead and zoom the Pulsar as well. We'll just start kind of zooming them in on that target so we can see the resolutional difference. So what we're looking for here, we're just going to pay attention to the resolution in the numbers, you know, how well you can see those edge outlines, what the detail looks like inside. I will tell you, in the XRF, they let us take it quite a bit higher up than they do in the Pulsar. I don't know why that is. It looks to me like they could take this Pulsar about one step farther in terms of the digital zooming and still have it be pretty useful, but they're capping it out at that. So we're going to back them both down. That's the 100-yard target. Then we're going to roll over here. I've got a 200-yard target set up. We'll go ahead and range that 200-yard target just to make sure. Getting 198 in the Pulsar. And we're getting 198 in the Halo. And again, so on this one, what I've got back there is I've got squares of aluminum foil that they go down. So basically, again, just showing you the resolution. You know, pay attention to the square, the detail with which you can see those squares and kind of make that detail out. And the relevance of aim small, hit small. I mean, you've got to be able to tell where that center is in order to be able to hit it. So I will tell you in this particular one, I don't know if it's a perspective thing or what, but that the fifth little block down there, that's a 1-inch square block, is getting, you know, a little harder to pick up in the Pulsar. That may be a perspective thing. It's sitting left of the other one, but I think what it is more than anything, if I was a betting man, it's the field of view. The Pulsar has such a wide field of view, and the way that their algorithm sets the coloring, the contrast in that. In the background, you'll see that. I'll show that to you here in a minute. I think what's actually going on is I think the sensor is plenty capable of discerning it. I think we can kind of prove that by looking at the ones up above. I think it's the way it's adjusting color that it's just kind of dissolving that, because if you see what I get back here, like on those deer at distance, let's go ahead and zoom in on that deer. We can hit the focus. I will tell you that I could nuke this Pulsar at this point and clear that image up some, but I'm not going to do it until we get done here, just to kind of show you the difference between them. It's an automatic calibration, and I think that is helping keep that image a little cleaner. But it does seem like, I would say the Halo's just as distorted in terms of it, and it could use a nuke also, but, you know, it's one of those things where if I was using this, I would have nuked the Pulsar by now, is what I'm getting at. But here's one thing I want you to see, is when I come across this field, what I'm calling the field, so basically the program is taking all the color values that it sees in the background and adjusting the image, and so because it has such a wide field of view, it's seeing a different field, so to speak, than what you're seeing in, you know, the Halo is benefiting because it's looking at a smaller field, and so it's got less mix in that color adjustment. But one other thing is like they just lock theirs down and don't really adjust for the different, what I'll call, you know, quote unquote lighting conditions, because what you're going to see here when I pan over into this more emissive timbered background, well, generally I would get more of a shift on that, but I didn't get as much shift as I have been getting. That's probably because I didn't calibrate on it, but definitely I am getting some lighting adjustment there. If you kind of look at the detail on that deer standing right there, I wish he'd turn sideways for me, I could really show you. But if you kind of look at the detail that we're getting there, how he's less black, like if you look at that area up in his back, and if I come this way, if you see that kind of changing in the background, that's what's causing that little 4-inch target to dissolve back there. But irregardless, you know, I'm going to go ahead and hit the calibrate in the Pulsar now, so you can get kind of an idea of what I was talking about there in terms of, you know, how much smoother that image could get under zoom, because now you can see where, while it is a little bit mottled and you get some pixelization, the little square blocks have went away. I think that, like I said, I could shoot that fifth target no problem at all, but it's definitely not showing up quite as good, in my opinion, as it does in the Halo. Even though I would say that the image resolution is like unquestionably better in the Pulsar. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick side-by-side comparison of these two units. Kind of what my first thoughts and feelings were when comparing them side by side. I will tell you, the Pulsar is a bit more complex. You can do more with it easily. I don't know that you couldn't do more with the Halo if you get down deep into the menus, but it's not intuitive and easy like it is on the Pulsar. But on the flip side, if you're one of them guys that, you know, just wants a device that's going to do what it's supposed to do and you don't really have to hit any buttons, I think that's kind of what the N-Vision is all about anyway. But I'll be right back with you. Okay, so here's a little bonus footage on a deer that I was able to capture with these two side by side. And basically what I'm trying to show you here is that while the Pulsar does have almost, you know, half again as much field of view, it's still able to produce basically the same image sharpness. If you look at the edge detail, it might be a bit out of focus there, but if you kind of look at the edge detail that it's producing, that's telling you that the resolution is pretty much 1:1. I will say the color contrasting is a bit better in the N-Vision, and you know, that they're just getting automatically. I could have potentially helped that, but I think that, in my defense, I think some of that is just coming from the field of view being so wide in the Pulsar that it's picking up more of the skyline in the background, and sometimes that makes that feed algorithm off a little bit. But just wanted to share this with you. Okay, so I hope you found that informative. If you're interested in this or any of the other products that we carry, be sure and give us a call toll-free at 877-806-2977. You can check out all of these products on our website at www.foxoptic.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.